Tutorial Tuesday is a continuation of my one brand tutorial series. The brand of the day is Lancôme. I recently got the Lancôme Audacity palette, and so I used up a bunch of my Lancôme samples and a bunch of other Lancôme products that I own to create this look for you. It's kind of like a pop of peachy pink on the center of the lid. Kind of smoky though for fall, but a shiny, like a brighter lipstick than I'm used to wearing. This is the Lancôme Shine Lover one, so it's actually just a lipstick, but it's very shiny.
This product that I'm using is the La Base Smoothing Primer by Lancôme. Pretty much everything's by Lancôme, so I won't say Lancôme. This is, I'm just smoothing it all over my face, and then I'm going to use the Lancôme Nude Miracle Liquid to Powder Makeup. I'm using the shade 320 Bisque Neutrale, which is a little bit dark for me, but I blend it down my neck so it works out okay. In using my Sigma F80 Flat Top Kabuki, and I use a little bit extra anywhere I have some imperfections that I'd like to cover up. But I just smooth it in, and then I go in with the Estee Lauder Double Wear Concealer in medium underneath my eyes. And I also take that concealer and kind of spot correct any little spots around my face that I need a little bit extra coverage that the foundation didn't provide. Then I'm going to use my foundation brush and actually just blend all of that in. I chose a concealer today that's a little bit deep so that it blends in with my face so I could use it to spot conceal. If I were going to do a lighter concealer, I would use that just under my eyes. Now I'm using the Dual Finish Multitasking Powder and Foundation all in one all-day wear in 205 Neutrale 2 Warm. And I'm just using that with a little small brush, but I do go ahead and spot powder the places on my face that I put the concealer as well. It adds a little bit of extra coverage, but mostly just mattifies. I don't think it's very high coverage at all. But anyway, I put the concealer, I just touch that up, and then I use the Hoola Benefit Bronzer. And I love this. You guys know that. It's one of my absolute holy grail products. I just take it around my hairline to contour around my temples. I use it down the sides of my nose and also underneath my lower lip and underneath my chin on my jaw to recede the double chin. It's the Lancôme Blush Subtil, and this is in the shade Blushing Tresor, which is a beautiful pinky peachy color with a metallic finish. So you don't actually need a highlighter when you use this shade. It doesn't look that fancy in the pan, but just kind of watch the glowy look it gives my cheeks. I'm using the Real Techniques blush brush to apply it. And when I kind of move my face with the light, you can see it kind of catches the light, and it's kind of glowy, which is why I really like this color. It reminds me a little bit of NARS Orgasm, but it's got a little more pink than peach. And then I go in with my NYX Tinted Brow Mascara. And this is in the shade Brunette, and I think it's a really quick way to do your brows, get them to stay in place all day, but also it just adds a little bit of color and fills them in where you might have some bald spots. I really like this product. For $5, you cannot beat the quality. So there's one brow done, and then I'll complete the other brow, and you'll see in just a second. Then the star of the look today is going to be the Lancôme Audacity in Paris palette. This palette is a splurgy item. I actually bought it for $68 at Ulta. I did a full review with swatches of this palette, so I will link that video below, but with the ring light it's hard to get a good shot. But you can see there's a good range of light colors, dark colors, metallic finishes, matte finishes. Today I'm using basically 4 colors from the palette. I'm going to start out with this cream shade, and I'm going to put that all over my lid. And then I use that matte, like tannish color in the center for my transition shade. It also comes with a brush. So I'm going to use the fluffy end for the transition and the cream shade. Oop, I forgot to prime my eyes. I remember that. I'm using the MAC Painterly Paint Pot. And then I go in, once I prime that, with my brush. I've gotten some questions as to what this brush is. It's really just like a kabuki brush, but it's like really tiny. This one's by Jessup, but you can buy them from different brands. So anyway, I'm taking that cream shade and the tan shade, and I'm going to use the fluffy end of the brush. So the first product I'm going to do is the cream shade all the way from lid to brow bone and including the inner corner of the eye, kind of like a highlight shade, but this also just sets that eye primer in place, the paint pot. Then I'm going to use the tan shade, and that will be my transition shade. So I'm going to take that color with the fluffy end and blend it in my crease and a little bit above the crease to kind of make a natural fade. The shadows we're going to be using after that are going to be very dark. So this transition shade is kind of essential to transition from the super dark color on the lid that we're going to use in the smoky eye to the white color underneath the brow bone. This kind of just makes a natural fade up. So once I have the transition shade how I want it, I'm going to use the dark brown shade in the palette And that is right there. And I'm using the flat end of the brush, and I'm going to spread this all over both lids. Trying to leave the center of the lid just a little bit bare because I'm going to use the peachy color. You'll see it's really pretty in the palette. So I don't take this color any higher than the crease though. I keep it all in the lid. And this is kind of why it doesn't look super duper dramatic, is because I kept it somewhat subtle. This palette does have a lot of fallout. If you saw, I just blew the dust that fell onto my cheeks. And that happens over and over. I blow it with my mouth just to see if I can get off any of it, and then I use my hand to kind of lightly brush it away. But for now, I'm just packing that on the lid. There I go, blowing it again, trying to get off the excess. You can use a powder brush for that, but a lot of times I find I can get rid of most of it with just simply a little bit of breath. Alright, so that's what it looks like with one eye completed. I cut to that. So that's the look we're creating. Now I'm using the flat side for that peachy. It's like a rose gold peachy color. It's a metallic peachy color. And I'm tapping that on the center of the lid, which is going to add like a little bit of a highlighted effect. And I'm using the flat side, but I found that it was really hard to get any color payoff, so I kept doing it over and over. I even wet the shadow with some MAC Fix Plus. It just doesn't pack a punch, you know? There I had it fall out again on the tops of my cheekbones, so I had to rub it away. Then I take that same brush with the same color, and I'm actually going to try to smudge that on the lower lash line. You can tell on the eye that is completed that it does show up eventually, but I had to keep working at it, keep working at it, and it really just did not perform the way I wanted to. I did end up just returning this palette after the poor pigmentation, the way the matte came out kind of chalky and not real easy to blend, and the peach didn't show up on my lid. So now I am actually using the Lancôme Drama Liquid Pencil in black, and it's basically just like a pencil that comes off really, really pigmented and really smooth, almost like a liquid eyeliner, but it's in a pencil form. So I line my upper lash line in a thin line, and then I'm doing my lower waterline as well. You don't want to do this if you have really tiny eyes. I just like to vary my methods. So now I'm using the Lancôme Hypnose Drama Mascara, which is one of my favorites. And the product itself actually has kind of worn off. The letters have worn off the tube, but I apply some of that mascara to the upper and lower lashes to kind of make this look a little bit more dramatic. And for the lips today, I'm using the Shine Lover lipstick, and this is in shade number 354, Inattendue. This is a sample, but it is super shiny. It's almost like you put a gloss on, but I love the color, and I think it's a really fun way to do a natural look with this super smoky eye.
Alright guys, this is the finished look. I hope you enjoyed this tutorial. Let me know what kind of looks you want to see me create next. Thanks for watching. Bye.